So I like to apologize. I misspoke in my last video. Giga Chikadze fought Alex Caceres and then was going to fight Josh Emmett. I got lost in translation. My bad. It's been a long day. But I just want to make sure that I'm setting that record straight, and I apologize. But you know who owes who an apology is? The UFC owes the flyweight division an apology because I've been very vocal on flyweight not getting enough credit. And, sometimes you can't hold it to that standard because what happens is you don't have a whole lot of marketable fighters at flyweight, so that makes a lot of people not want to watch it as much. That always kind of seems like 125 is in question, So you always relied on one person, flyweight too, Demetrius Johnson, Henry Cejudo, Brennan Moreno, and now you have Alexander Pantoja, who's a silent killer, and then everyone wants to see more Steve Erceg because he's like that next big star. But when I see a pattern, I'm like, dude, we got to add more to the mix. And Mohammad Mokaev is definitely a force at flyweight, and he's definitely equipped as a fighter, and he could probably be like a Khabib-style silent champion almost, But I know a lot of people don't like when I call Khabib silent. I know there's more silent people than Khabib, but you catch what I'm saying, is he could kind of fit that shoe a little bit at 125, which would be really good, which also means I kind of worry for Steve Erceg a little bit. That's what I'm talking about, is if we just rely on one guy, I think we're always going to be in this moment of in, out with the flyweight division. That just kind of seems like if you want, or like me, and you want to see flyweight succeed, it's not good when you see that one person's holding up the torch and keeping the marketability all there. But Mohammad Mokaev and Manel Kape got into a brawl, so that could be the reason why they're doing this, but I doubt it because these kinds of brawls actually sell the fights. Now, are they going to have them face each other during weigh-ins? Probably not, just because they know that they don't like each other. However, I think the fact that they are taking this flyweight fight, which actually had a lot of marketable merit in the main card, and then took it all the way down to the early prelims, not just the prelims. You couldn't have made it the last fight in the last prelim, but you chose to bring it down to early prelims. Now we got Christian Leroy Duncan and Gregory Rodriguez, which has about the same amount of, if not less, marketability. So, like I said, I give flyweight a lot of benefit of the doubt. A lot of these guys are just there to fight. They're not there to really market. But when you see the UFC kind of pull stuff like this last minute, it's almost like the UFC is trying to fight against flyweight, and they don't want to see multiple good sports or good faces to that division, because it almost just seems like sometimes the UFC wants to get rid of it in the near future. Not right away, obviously, because but you get what I'm saying. If we just rely on one person, it's almost like it's in that sweet spot where the UFC could always use it as that wild card, and I don't want to see it as that wild card. I want to see more smaller fighters get more recognition, especially Steve Erceg too. Huge fan of him, and I'd actually be a little worried once Mohammad Mokaev comes up the rankings and looks for him a little bit. But like I said, man, when I see this kind of stuff, it's just almost like you kind of look at the UFC a certain way if they ever talk about the lack of ticket sales from flyweight and stuff like that. And so you're not giving them a chance to shine, especially in this moment. And this is just my honest, humble opinion, right? I get it. They're going to make their own decisions at the end. But speaking of opinions, who do I think wins? Manel Kape or Mohammad Mokaev? I'm going to have to go with Mohammad, but I'm going to be treating this one as if it is a main card fight, not an early prelim fight, because I just think that this is disrespectful to do to 125 right now at this point, because it's actually got potential to dig itself out of that hole of lack of marketability or just relying on one person. However, I do have a lot of merit of getting to the bar early now because I want to show flyweight personally the reverence it deserves. But I've said everything I've needed to say. I don't agree with this decision of this switch around, but hey, we're still going to get a fight. Peace out.